From the OU TV Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, California, this is Brief News Brief, a brief look at today's trending news topics. Proudly combating the thought police since 2016, here's your host, James Heaney.
I'm James Heaney, and this is your Brief News Briefing. Don McGahn to the stand. Yesterday, a federal court ruled that former Trump White House counsel Donald McGahn must comply with a House subpoena and come on down to be the next contestant on the Trump impeachment hearings. The federal court found that no one is above the law, and that top presidential advisors cannot ignore congressional demands for information. The White House claimed that the former counsel was absolutely immune from being compelled to give congressional testimony. Well, the House Judiciary Committee went to court in August to enforce its subpoena of McGahn. Some lawmakers consider McGahn the most important witness in whether President Trump obstructed justice in Special Counsel Robert Mueller III's investigation interference in the 2016 U.S. election. It's like a tongue twister just to say it every time. But nonetheless, the judge ruled that if McGahn wants to refuse to testify, such as invoking executive privilege or pleading the fifth, he must do so in person and question by question. So he has to show up and just refuse to answer every question as they're asked. The judge said that her conclusion was inescapable, which sounds like some sort of a line that you'd hear from a Bond villain. This decision is inescapable, Mr. Bond. But it's because, a subpoena is part of the legal system, not part of the political process. And these are her words. She says, per the Constitution, no one is above the law. McGahn must appear before the House committee. The House lawsuit against McGahn was first filed by Democrats to force a witness to testify since they retook the control of the chamber early this year. The court decision had been highly anticipated, with major implications of other high-value witnesses in the Democrats' impeachment investigation. You might be thinking to yourself, who else will now be compelled if no one's above the law? Well, we're waiting to hear from the former National Security Advisor John Bolton and Bolton's deputy Charles Cooperman. It's the week of Thanksgiving, so expect some gnarly travel days, although this Thanksgiving travel might be even more of a hassle than in years past. Today, Denver Airport canceled more than 450 flights amid snowy weather. The Denver Airport has received 7 inches of snow so far, and it's still falling. But there's more. Snow, rain, and strong winds will make travel conditions difficult in parts of the West this week from a powerful storm that will slowly spread towards the central and then the eastern United States into this weekend. Southern Californians should expect a heavy side of rain, chilly temperatures, and possibly snow with their turkey dinners on Thanksgiving as the strongest storm of the season so far rolls into the Southland. Frigid polar air from the storm will also dramatically drop temperatures, which are expected to be about 15 degrees lower than normal for this time of year. The heaviest rain and snow is predicted to fall Wednesday morning and afternoon, right around the time Thanksgiving travelers will take to the freeways. You know how it is in LA. It rains for 5 minutes and the whole city shuts down. So a prediction of heavy rain and already heavy traffic day, it's basically a recipe for Carmageddon Part 2. But it's not just Los Angeles. There's an intensifying storm located in the northeastern Pacific Ocean and will move into Oregon and Northern California on Tuesday. This storm will undergo Bombogenesis, is what I believe it's called, before it moves inland. Now, this means that it will be a bomb cyclone since pressure will drop at least 24 millibars within 24 hours, making it an intense storm when it strikes. From there, the storm will likely track slowly eastward from the west toward the central eastern United States this weekend through a sharp southward plunge of the jet stream. The Weather Channel has named this system Winter Storm Ezekiel, which sounds almost biblical. Scary. Are you ready for the dark, morbid news? Well, here's a news flash. You've never been closer to death in your whole life. In every minute and every second, you take one step closer to the ultimate doom of death forever. Oh, it's grim. It's really grim. And so is this story. The life expectancy of Americans is going down, according to a strikingly bleak study published today that looked at the past 6 decades of mortality data. Yeah, that's what's happening here. Death rates from suicide, drug overdoses, liver diseases, and dozens of other causes have been rising over the past decade for young and middle-aged adults, driving down overall life expectancy in the United States for 3 consecutive years. The report was published in the Journal of American Medical Association. This is the reversal of historical longevity. What the heck's going on here? I wanted to live forever, not forever. It's an enigma. The United States spends significantly more money on healthcare than any other country, and our peeps are dying younger. The United States has been increasing mortality and falling life expectancy for people aged from 25 to 64, who should be in the prime of their lives. Other wealthy nations have generally experienced continued progress in extending longevity. The broad trend detailed in this study cuts across gender, racial, and ethnic lines. It's the highest relative jump. So everybody's jumping up. But the highest jump has been rates amongst people that are 25 to 34. And about a third of the excess deaths, this is a huge number, about a third of the excess deaths, all occurred in just 4 states: Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Indiana. The state with the biggest percentage in rise of death rates has been New Hampshire. Stephen H. Wolf, Director Emeritus of the Center on the Society and Health at Virginia Commonwealth University, said, "The fact that that number is climbing, there's something terribly wrong." The report reveals a broad erosion in health with no single smoking gun. So happy holidays, everybody. We wish you a happy Thanksgiving. We wish you a happy Thanksgiving. We wish you a happy...